Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here. And Mai, she's over that side.
Yeah. Hi.
$1,049 for a Steam machine?
No thanks. No.
No.
I'm good.
No, you know what? I'm all right. We've got the UK prices as well, which we're going to focus on. £879 for the base model. £879. And if you want a controller, $938. Like, I know. And I know, oh, we're a Nintendo channel. What are you doing talking about the Steam machine?
Diversity!
It feels extremely relevant at the moment because, as much as anything, it makes the Switch 2 seem like an absolute bargain by comparison. And don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting for a moment that the Switch 2 is as powerful as the Steam machine. You know, there are reviews out there and stuff like that which peg it as being, well, I think I've seen it loosely described, and don't take my word on this, a bit better than a PS5. But twice the price. And admittedly, it's an open system. It's a different kind of beast, innit?
I was expecting it to be expensive. Don't get me wrong. Like, as soon as they announced it, I was looking at it myself. I mean, both of us, we've had conversations about this before. Like, oh, you know, it looks really cool. Like, I was thinking of getting one. Me and my other half, like, he's properly getting into like my kind of gaming, so we were like, oh, maybe we'll get a Steam machine in the future. You know, ended up picking up one of these bad boys in the end, which I'm really, really happy with. I've featured it in the last kind of soapboxy video I did.
I'm very happy with my Steam Deck. Oh, look, it's us. There's mine.
But yeah, like I've been really, really happy with mine. I know that mine is technically the base model of the Rogue Allies. There is the X, which is like the fancy smanchy one, a little bit more higher tech. But at this point, I'm happy with having my desktop PC. I'm very lucky to have a desktop PC where I can play games still at a decent resolution, even if I want to use something like Steam Link. Good old Steam Link, managed to get that working to a good capacity. I can play in the living room.
Wow.
I can play in the bedroom with
You're
that.
the only person to get a Steam Link to work properly.
Yeah, well, I've been using that and also like other kind of ways my other half's been techie with that.
Like Moonlight and stuff like that.
Yeah, with Moonlight, yeah, that's what we've used, and it's worked a treat so far, and it's totally fine. I just put my Steam library on there, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, all that jazz. Why would I spend like an astronomical amount of money on a little box when I have my PC already, and I have this, you know, which I can put my Steam library on and everything else.
Well, I suppose the argument is that, and this the argument from the start for the Steam machine was that it is simple. You can just buy it, and as much as anything, it becomes a known quantity for developers. Much like, say, you know, sort of a Switch or a PlayStation 5, so they can go, okay, we can optimize it specifically for the Steam machine. And that makes sense to a degree. And if you don't have a PC, but you like the idea of getting into PC gaming, or you want to upgrade your PC, but, you know, because you got something really old and, you know, it's just sort of clunking along, but all you really do is play games. You don't really need to do much else, but you like the option to be able to do it, then it makes sense. But not for this price. Not for this price. And I understand that a lot of this is out of Valve's control. You know, RAM prices have gone ludicrous thanks to the overlord that is generative artificial intelligence. Well, not even just generative, just AI taking over everything and, you know, sort of chewing up all of our natural resources so that somebody can make a picture of their dog on a skateboard. But, you know, it's... I can't help but feel... I mean, they also put up the price of the Steam Deck.
Yes!
Which, you know... I just can't help but feel that they did sort of, it's not, a lot of it's not their fault, you know, sort of they're in a situation where it's just going to be expensive. It is just going to be expensive. But I can't help but feel that maybe they should have just gone, you know what, guys, we're going to hold off for the time being because it's too flipping expensive. Because who's going to be spending this money? Because you can build a computer for the same price. You know, so that you can install Linux on it.
Like we were
freely upgradable.
I was telling some of the other people, you know, on the other channel, like speaking with Aaron in the good old Slack, and I was chatting about how Framework, for example, they do something very similar. They do a mini PC. You can put your own components. You can pick and choose what ports you want. You can pick and choose what RAM you want. Yes, it is expensive and stuff, but you're actually going to be getting a far superior machine for, yes, a little bit more money, but you are going to have a more powerful machine than the Steam machine, and you get to customize it, repair it, upgrade it yourself. Yeah. And also they have the little customizey little cubes on the front, which is very cute. But it's... I just still can't get over the price. And then also, like, my theory is, like, I know a lot of people would argue with subscriptions. You know, if you get something like a PS5, you get something like an Xbox, you get something like, you know, like a console like that, and you're thinking, oh, well, you have to pay subscriptions in order to play online. With Steam, you don't. Haha. I have a theory, and please, Valve, don't do this, because PC gamers have gone through enough. I have a feeling that with this being marketed more as a console hybrid type thing, they might add a subscription service to the console based machines. I really hope they don't, because that would just be incredibly cruel.
I don't think they will, because it's an open system. You know, you can't reasonably, except for on a game by game basis, you can't expect people to use to pay for online on PC, because there's no centralized system. It's not locked down. You know, sort of you can do peer to peer. You know, sort of you can do all these different bits and pieces. So the thing is that if they did decide to do that, not only would it destroy an awful lot of goodwill, but also people would find a way around it within minutes. Seriously, because it's running Linux.
Yeah,
and the people who actually love Linux are going to be able to work around it like that immediately. So I'm not convinced. But I do think that...
I hope they don't find a way, though, that, please, like, Valve, don't do it.
I don't think they will. They're riding a lot on goodwill. Mm-hmm. And I think they would be utter fools to do it. Because at the end of the day, the Steam machine, you don't have to buy it to use Steam. And that's kind of what they're riding on, I think. But the thing that I think, the reason the Steam Deck was so beloved, and still is, you know, people love their Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. I don't use it often enough, because I don't have time to play even the games I'm supposed to for work. That's a lie. I exaggerated. I always have time to play the games I need to for work. But the thing with the Steam Deck is that it was a handheld. It's a PC you can take wherever you want. Your entire Steam library in your hand. Take it wherever you want to go. The Steam machine doesn't do that. It's like, hey, you can put it in your living room like a normal computer. I know a lot of people don't, but it feels like it was already targeting a much smaller niche to me than the Steam Deck. And I can't help but feel, unless, you know, in a year's time or something like that, when the price of RAM comes down, which maybe I'm being optimistic by saying a year.
Come on, burst the bubble, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't just burst it, decimate it,
obliterate
set it on fire. When that happens, maybe they'll be able to claw back some, you know, sort of go with a lower price and say, hey guys, chill out, you know, sort of we're dropping the price, and everyone who bought the expensive one. And then they'll have
another version come out, though. It'll be 2 years, possibly. And they'll have another version come out like they did with the Steam Deck and every other like handheld compact device like that.
You're right about the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck was only an OLED upgrade. I mean, it was slightly a little bit better, but like it's incremental. It's not like
they also improved the battery, didn't they? With that,
possibly. I thought it was that the chip got more efficient. The SoC got more efficient,
either
so it
way,
improved the battery life.
Either way, compact compact PCs, PC handhelds and whatnot, it's a revolving market. Like, we're not even going to talk about things like the like Ambernic and even things
Ioneo.
Like the Ioneo, even like ROG Ally, for example. Like, they've had this one and the X come out in the last year, and before that they had the other two models, which are just as good, if not marginally good. Either way, PC companies, when it comes to compact and when it comes to what's the word I'm looking for? Convenience. When it comes to the convenience of having a consumer-friendly device like this, like the Steam machine is, what's stopping them from creating another device another year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, when people have already paid up to their ears for a machine that might not even be good enough?
Yeah.
You know?
And it also, in a sense, kind of goes against what a lot of people associate with Steam. And it's not, sort of what Valve sets out to do or anything like that, but a lot of people associate Steam with, sort of obviously open, to a degree. Obviously, you have DRM and stuff like that, but broadly, compared to a console, it's open. And usually it's cheap, because the games, are often heavily subsidized, more so on Steam than anywhere else. That's changing a bit, but, certainly if you're looking for the best price, you will almost certainly find it on Steam. If not,
especially with family share as well. So yeah. So you have that as well. So I'm not disputing that Steam as a whole isn't good bang for your buck when it comes to their games and that. But it seems like they've just feels like they've they've increased the price of the Steam Deck to match the market, and then delayed the Steam machine. Fair enough. To then only be like, oh, actually, could we charge more on this? And then,
you see, I'm not sure that they wanted to do this necessarily. I could be being very naive and very
very cynical.
Oh, but Mr. Gabe, he's so lovely, I don't know the man. I don't know him from Adam.
He's a business owner at the end of the day. Like, it's a business.
Yeah. But I can't help but feel that because I say they're riding so much on goodwill, that they actually wanted to release it in this state. I'm guessing the wheels were already in motion. Contracts were already signed. They needed to release it, at this time. Mm-hmm. And so they just had to go, okay, here we go. And they can't make a loss on it necessarily because it's an open system. And they've been, I think, upfront about that in an interview. Sorry, I can't remember where the interview was, but they basically said it's an open system. We can't sell it at a loss like, PlayStation and, Xbox. Whether they actually do sell it at a loss these days, I don't know because I'm not their accountant. Fun fact. But all of this boils down to the relevance for our channel.
Mm-hmm,
is that the Switch 2, nowhere near as powerful, I'm sure, obviously, but half the price. You're getting a portable device with all the benefits of a closed ecosystem, because there are some benefits, as I mentioned, developers know what they're, they can optimize properly if they can be flipping bothered for a specific, system. You can have it on the go. You can take,
There's
plug
still
it
a lot
into
of good
your
third
TV.
parties coming to it. Like I'm kind of reiterating my point in the other video, but there is also, I'm not a big fan of game key cards and digital in general. But if you're a PC gamer, you're not bothered about having digital and bothered about like the whole game key card system as well. Like Switch has that.
Yeah.
Game key cards. But yeah, so like if you're not fussed about that, then you have that, as well as it being half the price.
Yeah. It's a bitter pill to swallow, and it is quite disappointing. I know some people were sort of hoping that they would maybe be able to circumvent it in some way, but no one can. Everyone's putting their prices up, and frankly, the £50 price increase, or we don't actually have UK price.
I reckon it's probably going to be about £50 because it's $50 anyway.
It's $50, so probably going to be about 50 quid for the Switch 2, and that's in September. So, sort of admittedly, Nintendo, supposedly been sitting on a huge stockpile of Switch 2s for about, I think someone said 25 years now. No, they've been sitting on a stockpile for a long time. So they, maybe they've even halted manufacture temporarily before this price increase comes in. I don't know. But either way, they gave us a blinking long lead time, which Valve did not for the Steam Deck. And I can't help but feel that this is... because this isn't even the first time they've done a Steam machine.
No.
And it was a bit of a blunder back then as well. And I can't help but feel that this is going to be a similar blunder for different reasons, but a similar blunder. And...
for me as a PC person, I think the thing that mostly enrages me is that, yes, they're marketing it as, oh, you can use it as a PC as well. But really, to me, it's actually just a console. Like, if it was a PC, you'd be able to change the components if you want. Like, I'm very much the sort of person who likes being able to have control of their devices, and rather than being stuck with the same thing. Granted, I have a lot of devices where I can't change the stuff, but that's something that is companies. things, anti-consumerism. But we can get into that another time.
Sort of consoles and particularly handhelds and things like that, they're always such a small form factor.
Yeah.
Maybe,
but for something like
maybe
this,
if you could upgrade the RAM, if it wasn't soldered on or something like that, but,
Yeah, and I understand it's DDR6 and, they're looking at optimizing for 4K, but I also don't feel like it's going to be as good as it sounds. And the fact that you can't customize it to your extent, to the way you want it, just rubs me the wrong way,
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that maybe you say optimized for 4K. I would hope that they would have the capabilities to do that. But the thing is, the PS5 doesn't do a lot of 4K, all things considered. I think the Switch 2 does more 4K, relies very heavily on things like upscaling, stuff like that, which the PS5 doesn't necessarily.
And the only way you can get kind of higher resolution or better kind of performance is with PSSR, with the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Only the Pro. So, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the specs now for the Steam machine, at least the 512 gig model, and I don't know, it just doesn't really impress me. To me, I still think it looks like more of a handheld PC components put into a little box rather than like I could grab this and put those components in there. I know this isn't DDR6 or anything like that, but it still packs a punch.
Yeah. But
I can't tell who it's marketed for unless it's for people who aren't really technically minded or can't be bothered to finagle with their machine. But it still traps people into a certain machine that they can't do anything with. I don't want it to be like a book. I don't want it to be like a paperweight for people, I don't want it to be another
machines
Ouya.
Already exist. You can buy a pre-built PC. You don't have to be technically minded. You can just say to a person, I'll pay you a premium to stick a graphics card in or something like that into, build an entire PC. And I suppose there is the small argument of efficiency. It's going to be very low power consumption. But even then, sort of that feels like that's a nice bonus. That's not a reason to buy a system. I don't know. I kind of expected this.
Let's hope it's not another Ouya.
I think it'll be a bit better than the Ouya. That's my hot take for the day. But yeah, I can't deny I'm disappointed. I'm not wholly surprised either.
I'm assuming you won't be getting one either, Alex.
Oh God, I'm not paying for one. No. If I don't know, if Valve want to send me one, I'm not gonna. Hi, Valve. Despite what we said earlier, love you. No.
Send it so we can to prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong, Valve. Prove us wrong. Send us each several review units, so we can pit them against each other in a chow race. I don't know why I went down that route of all things. I haven't thought about Sonic Adventure 2 for at least 6 hours. But yeah, I feel like they're fighting a losing battle. Mm-hmm. The Steam Deck, the big thing was the portability and the openness. This just has the openness, it loses the portability. It's more powerful, absolutely. But I just don't know who this is marketed towards now. At that price point.
It's for people who want a Gabe Cube. That's what it is. Just add a handle and it's a Gabe Cube.
Yeah.
That joke's already been done, but
it has a long time ago, I'm afraid.
I know.
I think if the price point was right, if you could in theory buy this for argument's sake, I'm not suggesting this would ever be realistic, but just as a consumer, if you could buy it for roughly the same price as a PS5, I think it could have some real potential. Mm-hmm. But not at this price. It is just unreasonable. And I know there's a load of Mini. Well, yeah, sort of, I mean, obviously not for gaming, but you know,
game on it. Like my other half's played Cyberpunk on it, quite good resolution. So
fair enough, I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopedic shoes.
Oh, mate.
I did not come up with that joke, I have to admit. That's Alan Partridge. But yeah, Yeah. But what do you think? Those are only our thoughts. Do you think the Steam machine has is the best thing since sliced bread. Let us know with a comment down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you why don't you click that subscribe button? It's very affordable at the moment, only £600. It's subscribe for £600
It's
and
on
be sure to check
sale.
out be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye. That video almost had a focus at one point.
I know.
Steam Machine.